Now, today being the first day of the festivities with the official commemoration by means of lighting, by means of hoisting the flag in the Dwajarohanam of the temple precincts, uh, I thought it would be appropriate to take a small break from the concept of who am I that we are studying, and try to bask in the glory of Arunachala by going through what we have already gone through once, that is the Arunachala Mahatmyam, that was composed by Bhagavan on the glory of Arunachala. So I think next 10 days, all of us will have mostly we will be engaged or kind of immersed in the thinking of Arunachala all the time, and being with the thought of Arunachala. Smaranat Kaivalyam, as they call it. The moment you think of Arunachala, Arunachala grants you what you want. I mean, uh, the most karunai, the most graceful ocean of grace, as we can call, as Arunachala is known to his devotees. Anybody who has once, I've seen this many times, anyone who has come to the fold of Arunachala in the glance of Arunachala, who has fallen in the glance of Arunachala. I think it's a culmination almost of a lifetime pilgrim, a lifetime travel, a lifetime searching for destination. I've observed this with quite a lot of people. Once they come to, I think, which obviously the other side of the statement is people come to Arunachala at the end. They complete all. They go to various, they go to the 12 Jyotirlingas. They go to various sites. They have a tremendous craving to go to Kailash, visit Kailash, Mount, and also to other places, Kedarnath, to all other beautiful places, beautiful Shiva temples. But once they come to Arunachala, I have observed this personally in myself slowly. I was very, very keen. There are 276 274 kshetrams, predominantly in Tamil Nadu and all over the world, all over the country. Also, this these kshetrams are the ones that are known as Padal Petra kshetrams, meaning the one that in which the Devaram compositions has been sung by one of the three Devaram saints, uh, Trinyana Sambandar, Appar, and Sundaramurti Swamigal. They have sung in all this. So I had a very strong inclination to visit all of them, all these 274 kshetrams. And we I visited about 50 to, I don't know, about 70, 75 kshetrams I would have visited uh, predominantly in Tamil Nadu. And I was very keen to go on and visit all the 274 kshetrams. Uh, what happened was, over a period of time, I found myself losing the urge to travel, to go anywhere. So my urge to go around the Arunachala hill was and is currently the only urge that remains in me, I can say. Okay, if there is an, I go to some town for some work or whatever. And if I get an opportunity to visit other kshetrams, I'm very happy to visit other kshetrams. All kshetrams are very, very powerful and very, very uh, great. All of them are the same in the ultimate analysis. All of them are Shiva kshetrams. So all of them are one and the same. But it's the bhava that people develop towards Arunachala when they come to Arunachala that differs. People who come to Arunachala, they are sort of what is there in the town. It's a dirty little town, I can say. That much I can say. There's nothing. So there's no attraction. Yes, there is a hill which is an attraction. Yes, there are many other places have something like a hillock, and there are many other places with a hillock with a temple on top of the hillock. stuff like that. And there are temple as big as our Arunachala temple, which is there in Tiruvannamalai. Everything is there in a lot of places, but something, something magical, unexplainable magic is happening in Tiruvannamalai. Once you come to Tiruvannamalai, over a period of time, slowly you are consumed. So what consumes, how it happens, nobody knows. Nobody has any kind of intelligence to explain the consumption. They are totally consumed. This has been happening. I've been seeing quite a lot of people around me, and me as an example also. So my urge to go anywhere else is completely gone, I should say. I want, whenever there's an opportunity, I would like to go to Arunachala, be in Arunachala as much as I can, as permitted by the Lord Himself. And as they say this to quite a lot of temples also, but it's definitely true in case of Arunachala. You should get the cardinal call from the Lord Himself uh, to visit the temple, to reside in Arunachala. All this, all people who have that that opportunity, I bow to them because they it is they have earned it. They have earned it. They are the Arunach. They are completely under the grace of Arunachala, under the protection of Arunachala, and they can simply lead a carefree life. We have Bhagavan. We have Arunachala. Temple is there. Bhagavan's ashram is there. The hill is there to go around. I don't think so. One can ask anything more than this. I don't think there is anything more to ask than this at all. Such is the glory of Arunachala. With that Arunachala's smarana, we will recount the Arunachala Mahatmyam today, which is taken, composed in Tamil by Bhagavan, and it is taken from Arunachala Mahatmyam, a part of Skanda Puranam. We have seen this in one class before, but for the sake of people who have missed it, or just to be in the glory, just to bask in the glory of Arunachala, why not do it again? And why not do it again and again and again? That is the power of Arunachala Mahatmyam, composed by Bhagavan. Bhagavan composed a set of five songs called Arunachala Stuti Panchakam, out of which Stuti Panchakam. Stuti is in praise of, Panchakam is five, out of which the first one that is featured is Arunachala Mahatmyam. This Arunachala Mahatmyam opens with a song composed by Muruganar. The first song is composed by Muruganar, and he places it to Bhagavan, and that is known as Arunachala Tattvam. What is the meaning according to Muruganar of Arunachala? He composes it in a small poem and places it in front of Bhagavan and requests Bhagavan on the day of Deepam, I think in the year 1935, 1932, he requests Bhagavan to compose the Deepa Darsana Tattvam. That is, what is the significance of seeing the Deepam that is lighted on top of Arunachala hill? Is the question he puts to Bhagavan. And this is how it started. These two slokas, which is followed by five more slokas, which are adapted from Skanda Mahapuranam, as we saw earlier. Arunachala Mahatmyam is a portion of Skanda Mahapuranam, which talks about the glory of Arunachala, the visit of Mother Parvati to Arunachala, doing total tapas here and obtaining the Lord's left side of the Lord, merging with the Lord's left side, Idabhagam, left side, and the glory of going around the hill, Arunachala hill, how one should do it, what is the prescription, how, in what way all this has to be done. All many more interesting glories of Arunachala has been given in Arunachala Mahatmyam, and they are all Sanskrit slokas as they are Puranas, and as I've recounted once before, Bhagavan gracefully wrote the entire Arunachala Mahatmyam Sanskrit version in his own hand. And the ashram archive has the copy of all, and it has been the ashram published a Sanskrit book of Tamil containing Bhagavan's handwriting called Swarnabahu, and it is there. This sloka, a good portion of this Bhagavan's writing is featured there, all in his own hand. Bhagavan, nobody, he just sat, he felt like doing it, he did it, that's all. This is the best part, or why should we say the best part? The nature of Bhagavan is the nature of Parabrahma. Obviously, he is that without using the mind, things are happening. Like in the last session also, when we were studying Who Am I, we recollected how we can live a beautiful life if mind is absent, if mind is not at all there, if mind is killed, rather than being developing a fear that how will my life go on in absence of mind. We all have this problem. Quite a lot of people who are able to theoretically appreciate the concepts of Vedanta and the teaching of Bhagavan are very, very thrilled. They are able to conceive that there is nothing, there is no more truth than what is being said. But they are afraid. What will happen to my son? What will happen to my parents? What will happen to people around me? What will happen to all my employees? And such fear takes over them. But they are not able to appreciate one fact, that who is eligible to attain that manonasa, who attains that manonasa, the one who has understood the truth. So when the one gets a plenary experience that all he is experiencing is false, and everything is nothing but a figment of imagination, at that time only he loses the mind, and he acts according to how the prarabdha drives the body for this janma. There is fear. He has already transcended what is known as desire and fear. So this taking care of anybody or my responsibility, assumed responsibility, there is nothing called responsibility. All this we assume, we put it on, we carry the load on ourselves, thinking they are all my responsibility. But in the final achievement, in the final state, we are going to understand nothing is my responsibility. Everything is Ishvara's responsibility. Bhagavan has told that in many places, and a lot more people have also said, when everything is the responsibility of Ishvara, when we all, especially people who are in this entry level bhakti marga, so to speak, who believe that there is a God somewhere, that God created the world, and that God is he is the protector of the world, he is the destroyer of the world. Everything is done by that God. When such a massive thing is done by the God, would that God be able to take care of everyone of his creation? We also say Vishnu, in form of the protector, is the one that is taking care of the world. So, will not that Vishnu take care of the small burdens that we have assumed for ourselves? Is he not capable enough to do that? Vishnu is, but we, having risen as the small ego, think I should do it. This amount of taking care of the big works is Vishnu's responsibility. This doing my own work is my responsibility. Where does all this imagination come from? They come only from the mind. The mind issues forth, and all this responsibility comes in, and we start saying, I have to do this, this is my job, and I have to relieve the burden of the Lord. Can there be a bigger joke than this? You cast any burden on the Lord, he takes it. Bhagavan categorically has stated this in number of places, number of occasions. Why do you want to carry the burden? Bhagavan asks. But we want to continue to do the same. So drop all this on Arunachala, and just all we have to do is think of the Lord and cast the burden. So in the state of Manonasa, life is beautiful. Because the thinking mind is the culprit. If the mind is not thinking anything and just the prarabdha is unfolding, everything is just going as per Ishvara Niyadi, as per the will of the Ishvara. Again, not the will of the Ishvara. We'll have to, when we say will of the Ishvara, we'll have to understand the term will of the Ishvara very clearly. It is our prarabdha given to us by Ishvara for us to exhaust the life from our Sanchita storehouse. So that is exactly the Ishvara Niyati. Ishvara has no volition of any sort. Nothing attaches to Ishvara, just like how sun is not affected by the various activities of the people who do so many works under the light provided by the sun. Without the sun, nothing is going to happen. All these, most of the work in the whole planet will come to nothing. Water will not evaporate. We will not have light during the daytime. And we cannot produce anything. Crops will not grow. So, considering, but is the sun in any way bothered? The sun is just there. Sannidhi, that's all. Sannidhi matram, they say. Only the presence. Similarly, Ishvara is always there. It is without the presence of the Ishvara, nothing is going to happen. But he does not get attached with any one of these. It's easy to understand. We need Ishvara. Ishvara does not need us. We need sun. Sun does not need us. Whether we are there or not, sun is going to keep shining. Similarly, whether we are there or not, Ishvara is going to be there. But we need Ishvara. Without Ishvara, not even a minute we can survive. So the Ishvara impartially gives the karma to every one of us. So in the absence of mind, such a karma comes into the function, and that is what we are going to, that is why we say mind is not needed. But only it will happen only when on the stage of plenary experience of the Sachitananda Parabrahma. So nobody needs to be having any kind of a fear and proceed towards the sadhana prescribed by Bhagavan vigorously. That is all. This is all we can do. Nothing else is needed out of us. If we do that, one day or the other, we are going to achieve it. One janma or the other, who knows? But again, we'll have to, when we become a student of Advaita, when we start learning Advaita, we'll have to start appreciating the concepts. When we say this janma or the third janma or the 100th janma or the millionth janma, all this is imagination. Bhagavan, if you ask Bhagavan, what was I in the previous janma? What am I? What will I be in the next janma? Bhagavan will ask, are you born now? When were you born? What is previous janma? What is next janma? All this is only for people, for the novice to get a foothold. They say there is next janma. Based on the work you do this janma, you will get good life in next janma and all that. All this religious teaching is only to put you in the right track of righteousness, rather than really thinking that there is nothing and I can do anything. This is why in the last class we saw Advaita can be dangerous if it is not understood well. It can act like a double-edged sword. It can hurt you. If you think there is nothing, I can do anything. Only for the person who has attained the realization that you can do anything. Because your mind is not there, so you cannot do anything. That is the state where Advaita, the application of Advaita is possible. If we try to do that now, we are going to be miserably hurting ourselves. So, Bhagavan asked, what is next janma? Are you born now? You are not. You are considering the birth of the body as the birth of you. Look at the fundamental error is already common. So, you will have to use the dualistic way of Punarjanma, next janma, previous janma, the 1 millionth janma before, 1 million janma after. That is when you will attain your Sayujyam. No. Bhagavan has categorically stated we have achieved already what we have to achieve. We have to only remove the ignorance. Because what has to be achieved newly can never be permanent, and what is not permanent is not worth striving for. So, having said that, it is abundantly clear that we are always that. We are always the Parabrahman. Only because of ignorance, we have forgotten our true nature of Parabrahma and assuming ourselves to be what we are today. So, one important aspect that we should develop in our journey uh, towards the Parabrahman is developing Bhakti Bhava. It's extremely important. So, this Bhakti Bhava is the only thing that will help us become clean mentally and take us to the Jnana Marga. And we have seen in times, in number of numerous occasions before, that Bhakti and Jnana are one and the same. Love for self is Bhakti. Practicing that self Jnana is Jnana, you can say. So if they are all the same, the truth is not different. But during this festive season, currently that we are in, starting from today, it's a great opportunity to really get into the glory of Bhakti and stay put in that Bhakti. Melt with a kind heart to the Lord. This is all we can do. And this is enough. You take one step, the Lord will take 10 steps for your protection, for your benefit, for your welfare. It can be anything. It can be welfare in this world that we have assumed, or it can be the final liberation. Anything. Bhagavan will come to us. So we will see, let us try to use this 10 days in a glorious manner of being in Arunachala Smarana. And Bhagavan starts off this Arunachala Mahatmyam by saying, Karunar Karda Gadinalgum Arunachala Shivam Gida. What it means, we have seen that before. We will go again, but we'll go in a slightly faster way. In such a way, we complete all the 7 slokas today. So, Karunar Navamai Karuda Gadi Nalgum. This Arunachala Shiva, who, being the ocean of grace, bestows liberation when thought of. We have heard of this glory of Arunachala in many literatures, many places. Even anybody who takes up even a casual commentary on Arunachala will start with Ninaika Mukti, Smaranat Kaivalyam. The thought of Arunachala bestows liberation on you. This is how everybody knows this. This is what Arunachala is become famous for now, currently. And they are all saying that very, very nice and true, but you cannot do a lip service on this. You can, for the sake of, for I know something about Arunachala, I'm saying no. You have to have that bhava towards Arunachala. You have to melt with that kind heart towards Arunachala. You do that. So it is for that kind of people Bhagavan is saying this. This Arunachala Shiva, whom so many people are thinking of Arunachala. Yes, I'm thinking, you can't do it mechanically. God's name cannot be used mechanically. Bhagavan is one. God's name will have to be used, will have to be pronounced with love. If that love is missing, it is just a prattle. It is not going to yield anything. So it is not a business bargain that I say, Arunachala, you give me this. Like a lot of people today go around the Arunachala hill, very welcome. Everybody should do that. A lot of people do that thing. Some astrologer from somewhere, some part of the world will come and say, you go around the Arunachala hill 9 Paurnamis and you will get. This is all. Okay, fine. You at least you are doing that, and it's very, very appreciable, no doubt about it. But how to do it with love for Bhagavan? There are 2 categories of people that come to Tiruvannamalai. One is from the big cities who come with something in mind. Some business problem they will have. I'll walk around Arunachala hill. I've been advised, and he'll solve. So he'll say, Arunachala, I have three Paurnamis, I'll come and do this. I should gain this whatever project I have. That is one kind of people. The other kind of people who come mostly from rural background, from small villages around Arunachala, from Tiruvannamalai, and such places, they don't know all this. They come for bhakti. They just come pure-hearted, just do their happy Girivalam. It may appear that they are in a hurry always and other things, but they don't have much in mind, like the city folks. Just an example. You don't need to necessarily say all city folks are like that, or all rural people are like that. No, but we have observed it over the years. Now we have observed it quite a bit that such is happening. So Arunachala, we cannot use it as a god of bargain and ask anything. We have to. So to whom is the thought of Arunachala going to bestow liberation? Only for people with love, not for the academic people who say, oh, it is written in the text, the sacred work of Arunachala Mahatmyam. So I'll have to sit. So I'll have to sit now. Imagine the town of Tiruvannamalai. Imagine the hill of Arunachala, and I should gain liberation because it is said. Is it not? You got to take everything the way it has to be understood. So this verse, the first verse, Bhagavan drew a picture of Arunachala, a beautiful sketch of Arunachala, and below that sketch, he wrote this. He wrote these two lines called Karunar Navamai Karuda Gadinalgum Arunachala Shivam Idam. Karudai, the grace, the ocean of grace called Arunachala Shiva bestows liberation being thought of. This verse is Dhyana Sloka. That is a verse of contemplation. The contemplation is given here clearly that think of Arunachala, about Arunachala Shiva, which was composed by Bhagavan in the year 1932 and is printed under the picture of the holy Arunachala, holy hill, in Sri Ramana Nool Thirattu. That is the collected works of Bhagavan opens with this picture. It's an ashram publication, the collected works of Bhagavan, the collected works of the Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi opens with this picture of Bhagavan, and it's a glorious picture. You can't, once you see that, you'll keep on seeing that picture. You cannot take, just like how once we start seeing the hill of Arunachala, most of the time we get so much into some thoughtless possession. We are possessed, and we are in love with Arunachala. That's what happens when we see most of Bhagavan's pictures. Yes, we lose ourselves. That's what happens when we see this small sketch of Bhagavan depicting the hill Arunachala. And the first song of Arunachala, Tattvam, is written by Bruginar. Buddhi Ahangaram Pulam Vedavogum Matidhayandan Marayavanumalum Nattavariyadu Nalam Kulayannar Mattioliranna Malayinadumeye. And Buddhi Ahangaram, the true significance of Annamalai, that is Arunachala, which shone forth between Brahma and Vishnu in order to subside their pride by making them realize that they were unable to reach the top and the bottom of the column of light that was in between. We all know that story. We'll recount that also. Is only, what is that? That light is only heart, the real self, the center of all, which shines forth when the intellect and the ego lament and subside, having realized their inability to know it as it is. See, this buddhi is always a representation of Vishnu, and ahankara buddhi is the representation of Brahma, and ahankara is a representation of Vishnu. Buddhi is always attached to Vidya, and the one who is the owner of all, the creator of all the Vedas, who is a creator, is Brahma. So he is always called as Buddhi. And Vishnu is the giver of wealth. He gives wealth and he does the act of protection. So he is called Ahankara. Of the two, you can say Brahma came from the navel of Vishnu, and so Vishnu is the father of Brahma. But Brahma said, "No, you may be my father, but that does not mean you are great. I am greater." Because, like kids fighting on the street, they took up a fight broke out. Brahma said, "If I don't do the creation, what are you going to protect? What are you going to be left with to protect? So I am great. I am greater." And Vishnu also said, if I don't protect, your creation is of no use. So such a fight broke out and they went to Shiva. And Shiva, to check what his opinion is about it, they already decided that they too are greater than Shiva. They just go to Shiva only to ask a third man's opinion. And Shiva said, Shiva immediately form of column of fire, a huge column of fire. And he said, anyone either find out my top of this fire column or bottom of this fire column, and whoever finds is greater of the two. Vishnu took the form of uh, ore, and he start digging the earth and start going to find the bottom of the column. Brahma took the form of a bird, swan, and he started flying up towards the top to find the top. And after years and years and years, and the Purana describes that as millions of countless number of years, they were searching, and Vishnu came out in despair, and he realized something was not on. Something is beyond his capacity. He's beyond his power. He comes to the feet of the Lord Shiva, and he says, "Shiva, I tried, but I failed. I accept my failure." So he was there. Brahma was going up and up and up. He decided somehow he cannot accept failure here. Look at the way buddhi is working. This is the buddhi. This is how buddhi works. Whereas the both buddhi and ahankara are said to be, very, very dangerous. Both them, which is more dangerous, wealth or knowledge, knowledge of scriptural knowledge or education or whatever you can call it that way, which is more dangerous? It is declared that the wealth, or I mean, the wealth of education or knowledge of scriptures is far more dangerous than possessing gold and other ornaments or whatever. Why? Because very soon you will be satiated when you're with wealth. You'll soon understand that all of them will disappear slowly. But there is no concept of disappearance, only growth as far as your buddhi is concerned. It will keep on expanding, it will never shrink, it's going to go. Whereas this ahankara in form of wealth, we will slowly will understand and will give up. This is why probably Vishnu did not take the form and try to go up. He said, I better be at the feet of the Lord, and started going down. Brahma went up and he wanted somehow to use a false witness and win and prove that he has seen the head of the column. So there was a flower by name Tarampu. I don't know what exactly Tarampu is called in English or any other language. This Tarampu, it's a leafy kind of a flower with very good fragrance, with thorny edges on the end of the petal. So
It is
this
called Mogali Puvu. Mogali Puvu.
Mogalipu. Okay, okay, thank you. Mogalipu. Okay, I'll have it in mind. Okay. So that flower is coming down from up, and Vishnu in form of the bird sees that, and he knows that it has to be coming from the head of the Lord. So it has definitely seen. It has the head. It knows the head. So I will make this Mogalipu, this Tarampu, tell. that I have seen him in the top. I am coming from the top. I have seen him in the top. And after a lot of discussions and after a lot of hesitations, the flower accepts to do the sakshi, the be the witness, and they come down to Shiva, and Brahma says, "Why? I have done. I have seen the top." And the anger of Shiva knew no end. And he turned towards that flower, and the flower said, "Yes, I vouch because I come from, you know very well, I come from the top of the column. I always decorate your head. I was coming from there and I have seen it there." So the anger is twofold, one on Brahma, the other on Tarampu. So he understood everything and he cursed both of them, saying, "Brahma, for your false words, you will not be worshipped in any temple in the world." He banished all the temples, so no worship of Brahma. We hardly see any temple for Brahma in our land. Maybe one or two here and there, which was just to acknowledge, nothing more. No worship, no great worship like how it happens in Shiva temples and in Vishnu temples. Nothing of the sort. No procession, no nothing. He banished, and he told Tarampu, "You are thus far you are a beloved flower of ours who are always decorating the head. No more will you be used in our pujas." He banished Tarampu totally. So even now in Shiva temples, and most of the temples, I do not know about Vishnu temples, but yes, Shiva temples, definitely Tarampu is banned and they don't use Tarampu because of the false witness it gave on behalf of Brahma. And then Brahma and Vishnu understood their folly. They fell at the feet of our Lord, and Lord said to Vishnu, "Wherever my temple is there, your temple will also be there. It will flourish along with us." You see, most of the places wherever there is a Shiva temple in the vicinity, not necessarily in the vicinity, within some distance, there will be a Vishnu temple. So they both were flourishing, and Shiva protected, gave that to Vishnu, and Shiva in fact told, "We both are equal. We are no, I am not superior, you are not superior. We both are equal." So it is best always to consider Shiva and Vishnu as one and the same. We cannot no distinction and all that between these two. They are both Parabrahma, they are both personification of Parabrahma. According to our bhava, we choose what we want. But Brahma, since he was banished, temple worship is not there. But then Shiva pardoned him because of his apologies, and told Brahma that you will be in all sacrifices. Brahma will, that is Vedas, will hold the most important, most prominent position. So he bestowed that to Brahma. And then now this is the tattva of the buddhi and ahankaram as explained by Muruganatha. The true significance is of Annamalai. What is Annamalai or Arunachalam? Is the column that shone forth between Brahma and Vishnu in order to subside their pride, by making them realize that they were unable to reach the top or bottom is only the heart. The only reality, that is that column, represents the heart, the self. This is the purpose, and that heart or the self is nothing but Arunachala. Is the tattvam of Arunachala. So this is what happens when we have darshan of Arunachala, either in physical, with our physical eyes, or with our mental imagination. Our ahankara is getting slowly subsiding. It's beginning to subside. This is the tattvam of Arunachala. This is why it is known as Smaranat Kaivalyam of Arunachala. Because the moment you think of it, this what the Lord did to Shiva, Lord Shiva did to Brahma and Vishnu, is going to happen to us. Our ego is going to immediately start waning, and it's going to get destroyed the more and more we think and contemplate of this Arunachala. This is what Murugan said in this song. And then he requested Bhagavan to, to compose another verse explaining the significance of seeing the Deepam, the light that is lit on the day of Deepam, Mahadipam, on Arunachala hill. And Bhagavan graciously composed the following verse in the same meter that Muruganar had composed. Iduve இத்தணுவே நானாம் எனும் மதியை நீத்து புத்தி இதயத்தே பொருந்தி அகநோக்கால் அத்துவிதமாம் மெய்யகச்சுடற்காண்கை பூமத்தி எனும் அண்ணாமலை சுடர்காண்மையே. This is the Deepa Darshana Tattvam composed by Bhagavan. And what does it mean? Ittanuve, Bhagavan straight away comes to one thing he came in this avatar to teach us, is to make us realize that we are not the body, and he links the Deepa Darshana Tattvam also to that. And so he is a teacher par excellence, in the sense he took one concept, core concept, and he is able to demonstrate the core concept in every walk of life. The way we breathe, the way we do anything, he is able to bring us. The true significance of seeing the light, the flame of Annamalai, which is the center of the world, is seeing the light of non-dual real I. Having given up the senses, this body alone is I. This sense has to go by fixing the mind in the heart through the attention to I. This is the core of who am I, right? Have we not been seeing it? Fix your attention to the rising I, and your rising I, the ego, will submerge in the heart. So when we see the Deepam on top of the hills, in this verse, while revealing the true significance of seeing the light, Deepa Darshanam, Sri Bhagavan shows that the goal of spiritual life is to give up the feeling I am the body and realize the non-dual real self. And that the path to attain the goal is to fix the mind in the heart by means of self-attention. So, when we see the light being lit, which is coming up in the next 10th day from now, when we see that light, the only thing that should come to our body beyond all other bhavas is, I am not this body. Bhagavan, give me the strength to drop the notion that I am not this body. So Bhagavan clearly equates in this verse, Tanuve Nanam Yenum Madiyai Neetu. Tanu means body. I am this, the imagination or the thinking that I am this body removed, and Buddhi Idayat Purutti, merge your mind in the heart. So that is Advaitam. That is, you see the non-dual self by merging the mind in the heart. So this is the poem composed by Bhagavan on Deepa Darshana Tattvam. So important point, as we saw, is if upon having the darshan of Mahadipam on the day of Kartika Deepam, immediately we should think of this Bhagavan. What Bhagavan said about having the Deepa Darshana, this should come to us. This concept should, that I am not this body, should come to us. And how will I obtain the concept of I am not this body? By merging the mind, the heart, by means of self-attention through who am I. So logically, we sort of chain each and everything, and this is while we have the Deepa Darshana. If we bear this in mind, it will be it is the best Deepa Darshanam that we can have. Not just getting immersed in the in the festival glow, or just seeing Deepam for just, every year I see it, this year also I see it. No, let us cultivate this bhava of Bhagavan's teaching of Deepa Darshana Tattvam, and let us develop uh, the faith that I am not the body by seeing the Deepa Darshana. Now starts the portion of Arunachala Mahatmyam, 5 songs Bhagavan selected and translated in Tamil. And out of these 5 songs, initially it starts with Nandi Vak, meaning the words of Nandi, Nandikeshwara, the most foremost attendant of our Lord, the foremost devotee of our Lord. He has given these verdicts in form of Arunachala Mahatmyam. அதுவே தலம் அருணாச்சலம் தலம் யாவிலும் அதிகம் அது பூமியின் இதயம் மறி அதுவே சிவன் இதயப்பதியாம் ஒரு மர்மஸ்தலம் பதியாம் அவன் அதிலே வதிவான் ஒளிமலையாய் நிதம் அருணாச்சலம் எனவே. He says, look at the conviction here. Aduve talam Arunachalam. That is the place. That is Arunachalam. Aduve talam means this is verily Arunachala. This is verily the place, the holy place. Meaning, talam yavilum adigam. Glorious, most glorious place. Meaning, glorious than all other, holy places. There are thousands of holy places in this Bharatavarsha. But of all, Aruna, when you say sthalam, the Sanskrit word is sthalam. When you pronounce the word sthalam, it is always Arunachala, no other place, because that is the highest of all. Like in Tamil, there is a marab, there is a tradition which says, when you say the word Kovil, temple, Kovil means it is always Chidambaram. If you do, unless you qualify it with some other Kovil, Vaidishwaran Kovil or whatever, the moment you say Kovil, it means Chidambaram. Likewise, the moment you think of Stalam, any Stalam, it is Arunachalam. Aduve Stalam, Arunachalam, Stalam Yavilum Adigam, greater than all the holy places, greatest of all the places. Adu Bhumiyin Hidayam, it is the heart of the whole earth. That Arunachala is verily the holy place, Sthala, of all the holy places. Arunachala is the foremost. No, that it is the heart of the world. It is verily Shiva. It is Shiva himself. It is his heart abode, a secret Sthala. In that place, he, the Lord, ever abides as the hill of light, named Arunachala. So we know, we have heard, we have studied us, and we have heard Bhagavan say that Arunachala is not an abode of Shiva, it is representation of Shiva. It is Shiva himself. When this fight between Brahma and Vishnu took place, finally they said, we want to worship you, our Lord. So kindly give us something to worship upon. He sat as the Arunachala hill. And then the worship going around. So what it means is, this hill is not a hill in which some god comes and lives. It is the heart of Shiva. This hill is nothing but the heart of Shiva, meaning Shiva himself. The Shiva that we see in form of Arunachala is worshipped by Brahma and Vishnu. Initially was worshipped, and when they said, we are unable to, how the hill is so big, how will we perform Abhisheka, how will we garland it and all that. So the Lord took a size of a smaller linga and settled in 2 places, one in the current Arunachaleshwara temple, and that was for the sake of Vishnu, and the next for the sake of Brahma at Adiyannamalai, that we have 6-7 kilometers away. And Adiyannamalai is for Brahma. So even now, the patta or the place, the temple precincts of Arunachaleshwara temple in the town belongs to, it's in the name of Venugopala, that is Mahavishnu. So it is his proper, he is the one who created it, and Brahma is the one who created Adi and Namale. So now we are able to worship these two. So Nandi says Arunachala is the heart center of the entire world because it is the heart of Shiva himself, and it is verily Shiva himself, and that Shiva is always there in form of this hill, glorious hill by name Arunachala. And the moment you pronounce the word Stala, it always means holy place, it always means Arunachala only, because it is above all the other stalas. It is the most sacred place in the earth. So this is the second sloka of Nandi. The first sloka given by Nandi. ஆதி அருணாச்சல பேரற்புதலிங்கத்துருக்குள் ஆதிநாள் மார்கழி இல்லாதிரைய ஜோதி எழும் ஈசனை மால் முன் அமரர் ஏத்தி வழிபட்ட நாள் மாசி சிவராத்திரியாமற்று. Here Bhagavan in this song gives the concept of Shivaratri and how Shivaratri and Arudra came to be. This song reads, in the ancient day on which he, Lord Shiva, assumes the form of Arunachala, the original great and wonderful lingam, which first rose as a column of light, was Arudra in Margadi, in the month of Margadi. The day when the moon is in conjunction with the constellation of Arudra in Tamil month of Margadi, for example. The day on which Vishnu and other gods praised and worshipped the Lord who had risen as that light was Mahasivaratri. That is in the month of Masi, Tamil month of Masi, on the night of the 13th day of the waning moon, Trayodasi. That is every month at Chaturdasi, 13th days, Trayodasi, right? So every, I think I'm making a little confused. 13th night of the waning moon only, but 13th is I thought what we celebrate as Pradosham, but and the Shivaratri is the day after that. So I mean, learned scholars are there, and we can also I'll also properly refer and tell you. But to the best of my knowledge, it was Chaturdasi, not Trayodasi, as not properly written in the notes that I'm following. Anyway, so this Masi Shivaratri is on the month of Masi, Tamil month of Masi, on the 14th day, and that is when first Brahma and Vishnu worshipped the Lord, and from there on, the tradition of Shivaratri worship got sanctified, and Aridra is on the day that Bhagavan took the form of hill, and he sat for that is the day on which he rose as the column of hill. That is when we celebrate Arudra. Arudra Darshan is very, very important festival. So is Shivaratri in all Shiva temples. And this is the Tattvam as to how they both came about. Sloka. From next sloka, it's Shiva's Vachana. Shiva himself says. Nandi is finished his portion. Now Shiva's portion. This is அங்கியுருவாயும் ஒளிபங்கு கிரியாகதங்கள் அருளால் உலகம் தாங்குவதற்கன்றி இங்குரைவன் சித்தன் என என்றும் எனதுள்ளே பொங்கி ஒளிரும் குகை பல்போகமோடென்றுள்ளே. Shiva says about the hill, Angi is fire. This is the form of fire. Shiva says, though originally I was in the form of fire, my remaining now as a hill of subdued light is due to my grace in order to protect the world. Moreover, I ever abide here as a Siddha, a sage named Arunagiri Yogi. Know that within me shines caves surging with many enjoyments, bhogas. So Shiva starts up by saying what this Arunachala hill is all about. This Arunachala hill, originally, when it came as a column of fire between Brahma and Vishnu, was in fire form only in that yuga. And now we cannot survive the heat, that we cannot survive that fire. We are not people of today, we are, especially people in Kali Yuga now, we are not in a position to handle such glorious representation and all that. We are too weak. So for he taking mercy on us, he is sitting now in form of a granite rock, subduing all the heat. Was in form of emerald, in form of ruby, and many other stories are there. But in this yuga, he is in form of granite for us, for us to worship and walk around the hill, and he is ever residing. He says he is in form of a siddha known as Arunagiri Yogi. Shiva's heart only, but Shiva's in a manifestation of Arunagiri Yogi. He sits in the northern slopes of Arunachala mountain. Bhagavan also has vouched, yes, Siddha Arunagiri Yogi is in the northern slope of Arunachala hill. And Shiva says here, and within this hill, there are plenty of caves surging with many enjoyments. There is a universe, a full-fledged universe right inside the hill. And it was vouched by Bhagavan. Yes, it is there. I have seen. Bhagavan cannot see. Who is going to see? And is Bhagavan any different from that itself, from that representation itself? So he has vouched saying that everything is there as said in Arunachala Mahatmyam. So this is how the hill is. It is now taken the form of a stone form for for us to enjoy its presence and get reminded that it is nothing but the heart of Shiva. So when we go around the hill, how careful we'll have to be that we are going around Shiva. We are going around the heart of Shiva. We are going around the center of universe. All this is available for us to do in a 14 kilometers in a 14 kilometer circumference. We are able to achieve all this. So this is Shiva Vakya. And Shiva goes on further to say, எல்லா உலகும் தகை அவ்வியலால் பொல்லா வினைகள் ருணமாம் புகழீது இல்லாததுவாம் எதுகண் முரலால் எல்லார் அருணாச்சலமாம் இதுவே. So, எல்லா உலகும் தகை. The word tagai means to bind. It's bondage. Since their karma nature is to bind all the worlds, the various actions, that is karmas, are bondages. Runa, that word called bondage is runa. Runamam, all these are bondages. So, you do any karma anywhere. You do karma in Shivaloka, in Brahmaloka, in Vaikunta, you do in the Indraloka, all karmas will yield or will take you towards what? Which means all worlds are bondage only. Ella ulagum tagai. So, what does it mean? Ella ulagum means all the worlds that you can conceive of mind is bondage only. Since all of them are bondage, this hill is indeed the effulgent Arunachala hill, the hill that destroys bondage, the refuge by seeking which they, that are the karmas, become non-existent. So, Shiva himself says that this Arunachala hill is one that is capable of destroying all our karmas. It will take all our karmas away. The words, actions, that is here, the word actions, all ella ulagum tagai avviyalal polla vinaigal. The word vinay means action, karma. The word vinay denotes all actions of body, speech, and mind, including the root action, that is moola vinay. That is the first action that is done. What is that? rising as the I, rising as the ego called I. Since the rising of the I is the root of all bondage, and since this hill roots out that ego of those who seek it or think of it, it is called a runa. Runa means a runa achalam. The hill, achala, achala means no movement. Achala, that is why it is a hill. Achala makes the bondages called runa non-existent. Is a negative word. Runa, opposite of runa is a runa. So, a runa achalam. Runa means bondage. Achalam means the hill that wipes out all the bondages and make them disappear is Arunachala. So, this is the importance of Smaranam of Arunachala. Arunachala, this is why we are looking at this Arunachala Tattvam, Arunachala Mahatmyam today on the glorious day of hoisting the flag to celebrate the Deepa Darshanam, to celebrate the lighting of Deepam. Let us again get a strong, magnetic attachment towards our Arunachala. Look what all Arunachala can do. உருத்தெரி எல்லையுற்று கண்ணுற்றால் கருத்தினால் தூர கருதினாலுமே வருத்தமுறாது வராத வேதாந்த அறுத்த விஞ்ஞானம் ஆர்க்கும் உண்டாமே. Now, உருத்தெரி எல்லை ஊற்று, that is the place from where you can see. This Arunachala can be seen in two ways. One with the physical eyes, the other with mental eyes. You can sit anywhere, you can sit in any part of the world and think of Arunachala. Or you can see Arunachala with your physical eyes if it is possible for you. The supreme knowledge, self-knowledge, the import of all Vedanta, which cannot be attained without undergoing great difficulty, will be easily attained by anyone if they see the form of the hill Arunachala from wherever it is visible, or even if they think of it in mind. So, the toughness of Vedantic study is declared here. It's got so many restrictions, it has got so many methodologies, it's got so many branches which we'll have to study in order to understand all the Vedantas. So, Bhagavan says, why do you struggle? Give up all that. Just come here. Look at Arunachala hill with melting, heart melting love. Look at the hill of Arunachala. He will, even with the most difficulty, what benefits you will not attain by means of reading Vedanta, he is going to give you. Vedanta Artham, the import, Arutha Vijnanam, Arutham, the meaning or the import of all the Vedanta is going to come to you, which means the culmination of supreme knowledge, self-realization is going to take place. How? By mere darshanam of Arunachala hill. Glorious Arunachala. This is why, again, Smaranat Kaivalyam. Bhagavan here says, you either, if you have the opportunity, see it with your physical eyes, bask in its glory. No, if it is not possible, okay, think with your mind, think with your mental eyes. This is enough, Bhagavan says. Only thing is, do it with utmost amount of bhakti and love. The import of bhakti is love, and Shiva. Bhakti is nothing but love. And when the bhakti or love is turned selfwards, it's self-attention, Atma Vichara. So bhakti is jnana, ever established truth given by Bhagavan. And in absence of this love to know yourselves, nothing, the self-realization or self-attention process cannot take place. So what is primary essence? The love, the bhakti towards Arunachala, which is nothing but yourself. So Bhagavan declared, bhakti is jnana mata, jnana's mother, bhakti. Without that bhakti, jnana cannot come. And so, when this, how do we develop this bhakti bhava? By means of all these celebrations and other things. All this is only for the purpose of all this festivities around the temple and other thing is for us to shun all other unwanted thoughts and unwanted deeds in our life and get focused and improve our love for Arunachala initially in the form of a Lord taking in the procession and then internalize it in form of your own self. This is the purpose. Next. யோஜனை மூன்றாம் ஸ்தலவாசற்கு ஆசருதீட்சை ஆதியின்றியும் என் பாசமில் சாயுஜம் பயக்குமே ஈசனாம் எந்தன் ஆணையினானே. We have seen the small how this sloka came about. Quickly we'll see that without wasting much time. Once Pandit Shastrigal from Shastri from Sringeri Mutt of Shankaracharya was visiting Bhagavan in his ashram, and he saw such a Bhagavan should be in some lineage rather than being a standalone person. He should be part of some lineage. So he was wishing that he becomes a part of Sringeri lineage, and so he requested Bhagavan, Bhagavan, you should not be like this. You just take Diksha. I'll organize everything for giving you, bestowing the Diksha to you. And if you don't want to wear the sannyasi vastra, it's okay. At least some kaupinam I'll bring from the Shinkeri Mutt, and I will get everything done here in Tiruvannamalai. So you please tell me, can I go and make arrangements for that? He was sincere man. So saying that, he said he'll go to the town, finish some work and come back. And Bhagavan was just quiet. Suddenly, one old man comes to Bhagavan, and that old man, he was in a haste. He had a big, a bulk of a mutai or a sack, and he put it in front of Bhagavan and said, as though he knew Bhagavan for a long time. He was telling, I will go to the pond, have my bath, and come. I'm in a hurry. Please watch over this. And he left it and he went. Bhagavan has never seen this person before, and Bhagavan never even cares about anybody else's belongings or properties. So why is he going to be bothered about this old man's this bag? But something prompted Bhagavan to just open. This old man, I don't even know who he is. He comes in a hurry, puts a bag in front of me, and with all kind of right, in the righteous, I mean, righteous in the sense, he took the right or liberty of putting it without even telling me who he is, and he's going. So, what can this kind of person be carrying in his bag? He opens the bag, and the first thing that is there on top of the bag is Arunachala Mahatmyam. And he takes that Arunachala Mahatmyam and randomly opens, and this sloka, what is composed in Tamil now, comes to him. He writes this sloka down in a piece of paper and puts the book inside the bag, closes the bag, and left it. That man, after that, disappeared. Nobody knew when that man came back. When he took that bag back, Bhagavan, he did not even care to come and tell Bhagavan, I have finished my job, I'm taking the bag and I'm going. At the time, Bhagavan checked with Parani Swami, his old attendant. And Parani Swami said, no, I have not seen anyone come and taking anything. I have not seen. Okay, then when the matter was later on talked about in front of Bhagavan's devotees, at that time, Devaraja Mudaliyar commented, who else could it be than Arunachala, who is coming and giving who can take such a liberty on Bhagavan and come and make him take one sloka that he's needing now currently. He opened that sloka and this sloka comes in. And the meaning of that sloka that Bhagavan composed in Tamil from that Mahatmyam, Shiva says, by my ordinance, I, the Lord, truly bestow my Sayujya, a state of non-dual union with me, which is devoid of attachments, upon those who reside in this holy place, in this holy stala, which extends to 3 yojanas around the hill. And even without their receiving any initiation, diksha, or anything like any formal initiation, which removes defects, they don't need. So ultimately, Shiva says anybody who resides in within the 3 yojana, a yojana is a 10-mile distance. Anybody who resides within 3 yojanas, that is 30 miles distance around the hill, they don't need any initiation. They are already initiated by me in whatever way that I know of. Shiva says this. They don't need anything. They don't need to be take formal sannyasa. They don't need any diksha from anyone and other things. So Arunachala, out of his grace, came as this man, gave this sloka in Bhagavan's hand, disappeared. Bhagavan wrote this sloka in a piece of paper and left it. And this Shastri from Shinkeri came back. He looked at Bhagavan and Bhagavan gave him the piece of paper. He read that, bowed his head, walked away. That's all happened. Look at Arunachala. Look at the grace of Arunachala. And look at this is my command, my ordinance. Arunachala says about people living around the hill. People who have the. In the previous song, he said, even if you are not able to see me with your physical eyes, see me with your mental eyes, it is enough. Here, for the sake of giving an answer to the Shastri from Shinkeri, this one was written. So, look at the plight of people who live within 30 miles within the boundary, within the from the hill. Such is the grace of Arunachala. They are all done quite a lot of plenty of beautiful karmas, best karmas. Previously, they have got the opportunity to live in such a place and having the smarana of Arunachala. There may be people, well, I mean, so many people who live there without even thinking of Arunachala. Fine, they have done some good karma in the previous life. Now it is not exactly that portion of the good karma made them live in Tiruvannamalai, in a place called Tiruvannamalai. They have other side of the karmas which are making them forget about the goodness and go after whatever deeds they do. So they will once again it'll give them, it'll take them to that karma will take them, will give its results. But you have an opportunity to live in this within this 3 yojanas of Arunachala, and then by the grace of God, think of his glories, think of Arunachala, the Smarana, coming to that, everything is done. This is Shiva's vouchsafe. He's vouchsafing, he's promising. He says, this is I ordained so. That is the power. This was Shiva's Bhagya. Now the next song, the 7th song, it's Devi Urai, which means Devi. Devi Parvati sings this song. It is her word of caution to people who, those people who kind of intrude or create interference or create difficulties for the sadhaks of Arunachala, for the true devotees of Arunachala. Okay. என்றுமே அறவோர் அன்பர்க்கிருப்பிடம் இத்தலந்தான் ஒன்றுவார் பிறர்க்கின்னாவுன் புண்பயர் பன்னோய் துண்ணி ஒன்றுராதொழியும் தீயோர் உரன் ஒரு கணத்து இங்கு அங்கி குன்றொரு அருணை ஈசன் கோபவன் தழல் விழாதே. Devi Parvati says, என்றுமே அறவோர் அன்பர்க்கிருப்பிடம் இத்தலந்தான். This holy place alone is ever the abode for righteous people and devotees. Here, base-minded people who intend to do harm to others will perish by being afflicted with many diseases. And the power of wicked will be lost in a second without leaving a trace. Therefore, do not fall into the fiery anger of Lord Arunachala, whose whose form is the hill of fire. This was composed like this. There are 10 songs composed by Devi Parvati, out of which Bhagavan picked one song and translated for us. This is when when Devi Parvati was came here to destroy the demon Mahishasura. When he was doing so, he took he was she tried to give him a piece of good advice. No, don't do all this. You have to surrender. Otherwise, you will be consumed by the Lord of Fire, Arunachala. You will fall in. Don't fall into the anger. Don't fall into the ambit of Arunachala's anger. You will be destroyed. I'm warning you. But he did not pay heed, and all the Purana happened. We know that. We discuss it later. But so this verse embodies the warning that Devi goddess Parvati sent to demon Mahishasura when he was preparing to wage a war against her in Tiruvannamalai. So, such is the advice given by Parvati. Always be helpful to people, to devotees of Arunachala. Always, especially people who are living there in poverty and other things. Don't ever disturb anybody's peace, or don't ever disturb anybody's, penance or meditation. Let them be peaceful. Let us be peaceful. Let us always think of Arunachala, Arunachala, Arunachala. What else we need? And this Kartika Deepam coming up on 6th of December. Let us all pray together. When we see the column, when we see the lamplet on top of the hill, think, I am not this body, and know by means of self-attention, by doing the Atma Vichara as taught by our Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Who am I? As taught by Bhagavan. Arunachala. The glory of Arunachala is never ending. The glory of Arunachala, everybody is under the ambit of his grace. Everybody he deserves his grace, and everybody is breathing because of his grace today. Yes. Arunachala, and it's a great festive season for our great Lord, and participate in that festivities. Do participate, enjoy every minute of it, participate in all the celebrations that is taking place, sing the glory of Arunachala. So, with that note on Arunachala, we will see next week. Next week will be very close to the Deepa Darshanam day, and we'll sing the praise of the Deepa Darshanam next week also, and we will chant Aksharamanamala next week. We'll take the composition, Bhagavan's composition, and sing Aksharamanamala, and we shall await the day of Deepam and enjoy the glory of Arunachala always. Nothing else to say. Arunachala.